Nathaniel Hackett gets the offense coordinator gig for the New York Jets. This is obviously huge. The reason why the Jets fans think this is even bigger is because their first reaction is, oh, Rodgers loves Hackett. Bring in Hackett. Is that an indicator that we are going to go get Aaron Rodgers as well? Aaron Rodgers still has to decide whether or not he wants to play football again. The Packers would have to decide that they're moving on. A lot of decisions have to take place first, but it seems like all parties are okay with a potential trade and move on situation. Does Nathaniel Hackett, being the offense coordinator for the Jets, put Aaron Rodgers in New Jersey to play for the New York Jets? Darius J. Butler?
I still say no. I'm still standing on that. He'll be a Green Bay Packer. I think Aaron Rodgers retires as a Green Bay Packer. Ultimately, that's the way I see it going. It is a good move for the Jets, regardless of who's going to come in there.
No,
he's had success as a coordinator, as a play caller. Jacksonville
play caller.
You guys are talking about, right?
Jacksonville. He led a top 5 offense to the AFC Championship as the Jacksonville Jaguars offense coordinator. Before that entire thing blew up, and that was with
that was Doug Marrone
and
Blake Bortles.
Blake Bortles
nailed it. Yeah. So whenever he was calling plays for the Broncos, terrible.
Yeah.
Had to put his offense into the entire team, terrible. Also had to take everything else that a head coach has to handle on the day-to-day, which is not just calling plays. There's a lot of other shit that takes place. Not good. Didn't call plays in Green Bay, right?
No.
So we just assume he's going to be able to pick right back up?
Some guys are just better in that wheelhouse. And the head
is that his wheelhouse, though? Because when he was with he drew up the red zone plays, I guess, right? Because that was the gold zone for the Packers.
And, led the meetings and stuff like that, obviously. But, yeah, I think
you're right, though, D-Bud.
To your point, I don't know. Now, Rodgers has said, he's made his affinity for Nathaniel Hackett well known. I don't doubt that, he loves him. He likes being around him. He's a good buddy. But I don't know if he's willing to stake the rest of his career on, hey, this guy, calling plays is, going to unlock, winning a Super Bowl for me. I think he's tight with him, sure, but Rodgers isn't an idiot. He saw what he did last year in Denver. It's is them getting him all of a sudden he gets it now. He learned from everything last year, and I'm going to go win a Super Bowl with this.
Congrats to Nate Hackett, though.
Yeah,
landing on his feet. He looked miserable in Denver.
Yeah,
can't believe it.
That was not fun. I mean, that first press conference, he was like, you get a guy like Russ Wilson, you get excited. He was living a dream,
Oh, yeah.
From a football family, a pipeline, obviously, his dad, massive influence on the West Coast offense scheme, I believe. Yeah. So he's been in football a long time. With the Jags, he was able to get to the AFC Championship with Bortles. Now, a lot of questions being asked about how they handled that entire game.
Sure.
That was a massive game. Was it him? Was it Marrone? Was it somebody else? Who knows? And at the Green Bay Packers, it was the gold zone he was known for.
Yep.
For me, though, I'm such a stooge. I'm a doofus. All I think about is they were fucking awful last year.
Bad. They were so bad.
So it's hard for me not to get over that.
A lot of that was on the quarterback.
Okay, so that's a big thing.
Yeah, but when you pay that much money to the quarterback, you can't move on from Russ. So he kind of took that. And the shit with head coaching, man, we talk about it a lot, and obviously, this is what we get paid to do, to talk about football and have takes and shit. But this head coaching shit, and all of it, a lot of luck plays into it too. As far as obviously who's available staff wise, your fucking quarterback. You look at Belichick. Well, Belichick, he was in fucking Cleveland. Nobody was looking at him like he was this great. And then you get Brady and you get these other people. So you got to have the right players. You got to have the right staff who you can empower. There's a lot of things that play into it. Hiring the guy, all of these coaches are talented. All these coaches have skill set. But it's about the guys or gals that you hire around them, and obviously the players that you can get. Sometimes you want a quarterback, and you like the Chargers. They probably wanted Tua. Ended up with Herbert. I'm sure they feel fucking great about that. That's luck partly. So a lot of that plays into it. But this whole coaching cycle, man, just get your guy and get lucky.
Okay, so speaking of luck, I mean, Bill Belichick, let's assume, got lucky for a long time.
Yeah.
That he had Tom Brady as a quarterback.
He's a great coach.
Great coach. Have to have great talent, but also luck playing in player, coaching, whatever your profession, I'd say.
The plays.
Whatever your profession, you're going to have to catch a little luck if you want to get to the top. If you want to have success, there has to be perfect timing, has to be options for this, something for that. Something has to happen.
Injuries.
You got to, Hackett with Blake Bortles and the Jacksonville Jaguars, which we certainly were reminded of by Schefter's tweet today.
Yep.
Did not recall that, I don't think, in any of the conversations we've had. Hackett, who once helped lead a top 5 point scored offense in Jacksonville to the AFC Championship game.
Hell yeah.
Hackett's done the job. He's done it before. Blake Bortles and the boys. Now, not saying that the boat wasn't fantastic on the field. He was. He beat us. They beat us a couple times, one time in London. Blake was a good punter, too. He punted the fucking ball into the stands. No penalty. No penalty.
Interesting.
It's unbelievable. Maybe in London, just tip of the cap. I always enjoyed watching Blake Bortles play football, though. I thought it was a lot of fun. But I didn't know Hackett was the offense coordinator there. I only remember in the success that he had was the gold zone for the Green Bay Packers. So I think if you're a Jets fan and you're not pumped about this, not saying all Jets fans aren't, because the Jets have come out in a statement. Robert Saleh has said that he's committed to finding a veteran quarterback this offseason, although he still has belief in Zach Wilson. So everybody on earth is like, well, Hackett gets hired. Him and Aaron have a great relationship. They just said they're committed to finding a veteran quarterback for the team as they continue to develop Zach Wilson. So there's a plan there. Oh, it's Aaron Rodgers going. But that's not what some of the boys said. Some of the boys immediately said that's...
No, it's Derek Carr. No doubt about it.
Which it might be. Who knows? But Nathaniel Hackett, is that enough, you think, AJ, for Aaron Rodgers? No, go ahead. What do you got?
How do you sell that
Sell
to the
what?
fan base?
What, Aaron Hackett or Nathaniel Hackett?
Yeah, after what just happened? Because he had a Hall of Fame quarterback that just got there.
Yeah.
He's going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yeah, for
Russell
sure.
Wilson is.
Yes, it is.
So when you see that, then I don't know how you spin that. How do you sell that?
They'll say, Chuck, don't you think they'll say, hey, he's a great play caller. He's maybe not ready to be a head coach. They could say that.
Got to.
The offense was terrible. I mean, the offense was so bad.
Salah was
What if he
on
comes
that
out-
Jacksonville staff with Hackett, too, back in the day. So maybe he has that familiarity of working. I mean, he was a linebackers coach, so wasn't working.
Saw the
anything.
success he had.
Yeah.
And then saw the gold zone, which, by the way, red zone, third down, most important parts of football.
Mm-hmm.
So he's able to have success with Aaron in that particular
He
aspect.
didn't call plays, though. I mean, LaFleur was calling plays. I know he put the game plan together and did everything there, and they loved him, but he wasn't calling plays in Green Bay. Now, he has called plays in the past, obviously.
Chuck, that's a hilarious response. How do they sell that? That is a hilarious question. It honestly is. Is there Jets fans pumped?
I can't imagine.
Yeah, until the quarterback gets answered.
I mean, that was
wait and see.
that was one of the biggest disasters in terms of like a head coaching debut ever.
What was it? The most boring football that football has ever seen almost.
Yeah.
They were calling it rugby because of how terrible the games were, because how great the defense was. That's why whoever gets the Denver job is like pretty good spot.
Great spot.
You're in a pretty good
D'Amico.
now.
Feels like D'Amico.
Really? Is that what you're thinking?
I mean, to me at least, D'Amico seems like, obviously, they can't hire him yet, but he seems like the hottest guy out there. You saw all the coaches talk about him. Like, everyone just speaks so highly of the guy.
How about what we talked about with Greg Olson and we chatted about yesterday? If the head coach isn't an offensive coordinator, you're probably going to have to. If best case scenario is you're going to have to probably cycle out a new coordinator every single 2 years because somebody's going to pluck your offense coordinator if you have any success and give them a head coaching job. That's literally how it works. So I think the defensive-minded head coach is kind of up against it right now.